Madden Moments, the single greatest game mode in Madden history. Starting all the way back in Madden 09, the game provided once-in-a-lifetime moments in NFL history and gave you the ability to recreate them in Madden. Now, this series started in its first game with 34 moments, continued in Madden 10 with an additional 34, and culminated in Madden 11 with a staggering 49 moments to play. It did technically go on for a few more years, but starting in Madden 12, it actually went to Madden Moments Live, which week to week, they would basically add moments to the game as they were happening in real life. But now the servers are offline, so you can't play those anymore. So for some godforsaken reason, today, I gave myself the challenge to beat all 117 moments in one video. And I accidentally set a legitimate Guinness World Record, but we'll get to that later in the video. But before we begin, I just want to say, I filmed for 30 hours for this video, so all I ask today, please, just watch the video. Put it on in the background if you'd like. I've been working on this video every day for the last 3 weeks. Like, I kid you not, I have slept maybe 5 hours the last 2 nights. So yeah, please, just watch it, hit the like button, leave a comment on the video, and hit the subscribe button too while you're at it. That always helps. Like, this is the biggest project I have ever produced for this channel. But now, let's get into the first moment of Madden 09. Finns get a win. In 2007, the Dolphins started 0-13 and got their only win of the season against the Ravens on this Greg Camarillo walk-off touchdown. So we start this at that exact same spot where I'm throwing deep to Ted Ginn to try to recreate that walk-off in one play. And while this might seem easy, this Dolphins team is one of the worst in NFL history. But it's 4th down, so if I fail here, the moment's over, but I hit Ronnie Brown out of the backfield to get our first success of the video. The only problem is we still have 116 more to go. So next up, we got Mile High Miracle. And what's funny is this moment says the Packers drove 82 yards to win the game, but in reality, on the first play of overtime, Brett Favre took a deep shot along the sideline to Greg Jennings, who caught this ball and went all the way to get the walk-off touchdown. Except now we got Aaron Rodgers because we're in the next year, and okay, I just threw a pick on the first play, so yeah, we failed. I'm gonna fail a lot more in this video. And to make things even better, on attempt number 2, Champ Bailey sacks me for a 13-yard loss. But it's alright, because even though Aaron Rodgers gets crushed on this play, I actually recreated the real-life play even better, hitting Donald Driver, who's able to go all the way for the touchdown, to get this one done. Next, we're staying in Denver for Mile High Freeze. And this one's pretty cool, because Sebastian Janikowski nailed a 52-yard kick to win the game in overtime, except he didn't because the Broncos actually iced him. And on attempt number 2, he somehow managed to hit the top of the upright. And we take over with the Broncos right after that miss, and I'm going deep to Brandon Marshall because he was an absolute beast in Denver. And yeah, we could kick a field goal to win the game, but where's the fun in that? I mean, I could throw an easy touchdown from here, right? I am an idiot. Anyway, got right back to where we were, and this time I hit Eddie Royal for the touchdown. So Smokin' Jay gets it done. Next, we got Stop the Stampede. And look, not all these moments are super special. Like in this one, we just have to stop the Bills from coming back to win this game, and this pick helps. And just for good measure, Jason Campbell hits Antoine Randall for a touchdown to seal the victory. This one might have been the easiest one yet. Next, Panthers beat the Saints. Pretty easy here. We're tied at 13 with 30 seconds to go. I still got a timeout in the pocket and a first down to Steve Smith, which puts me in position to attempt a very manageable field goal to win the game as time expires. Glad to get back-to-back easy ones, because Dog Pound Unleashed sucked. Basically, in real life, the Browns are down by 3 with 10 seconds left, and Derek Anderson makes a crazy throw to Braylon Edwards, which let the Browns attempt a 51-yard kick, and somehow they double doink it off the crossbars, and it goes in to tie the game, which they ended up winning in overtime on another Dawson kick. And I swear in real life they must have had a timeout, but I don't, so I'm throwing deep to Dante Stallworth, who catches it off a deflection from Ed Reed and gets out of bounds. So I thought, wow, this is perfect. We can tie the game and try to win it in overtime just like real life. Nope, you fail if you don't score a touchdown. And then I failed again, and again, and again, and 12 more times after that. So I've been playing this one moment for about an hour and 15 minutes now. And it's 4th and 21, time's expiring. I'm pretty over it at this point, so I just chuck up a prayer, and Braylon Edwards caught it, and he somehow shook a tackle. Oh my God, I'm done. I'm done. I can't believe it. This one was the absolute worst. Thankfully, comeback in the desert was a lot easier, because even though the goal is the same as the last challenge, I at least have 90 seconds with Matt Leinart and the Cardinals to drive them downfield to get a touchdown. And let's be real, there's only one guy in this team I want to hit for this touchdown, and that's Larry Fitzgerald, who's going to take it all the way in. But now I just need to stop the Falcons from scoring, and Chris Redman, of all people, have driven them to the 44, but he throws a costly interception, which seals the victory for us. Next, we got our first of a handful of moments about the Patriots Patriots' undefeated season. And we're controlling the Eagles trying to play the spoiler, and I'm not going to show you the failed attempts, but I played this one a lot. Like, the 2007 Patriots were obviously amazing, but they are cracked out in this Madden moment. Like, I felt like no matter what defensive play I called, they were unstoppable. And I have a much better chance to win if I could stop this 2-point conversion, but I can't. And honestly, I struggled on offense with the Eagles. So now it's 4th down with under a minute to go, and I still have one timeout, but Deshaun Jackson splits all the defenders, and it was at the 40-yard line where I realized I cannot give the Patriots the ball back with 50 seconds to go because Tom Brady is gonna light me up. And somehow in this game, a D lineman like Vince Wilfork is as fast as Donovan McNabb, which makes no sense. So I had to burn that last time out, and now this is the last play of the game, and thankfully I find Deshaun Jackson. But I still need the 2-point conversion to complete this. And I struggled so much on offense in this one that I was not letting the ball leave McNabb's hands, so I'm just running it in. What's funny is this moment is about 2 minutes in the video, but it took me an hour and 2 minutes to beat it. Next, we got hold back the pack. In real life, the Packers scored 17 unanswered points to come back and beat the Chiefs, so in this one, we just got to prevent that from happening. So with about 3 minutes to go, I figure I'll just run the ball and kill the clock, right? Nope, Larry Johnson fumbled on literally the first play I had on offense. So we basically just gift wrapped the easiest walk-in touchdown for Ryan Grant so they could tie the game. But we're only down by a point. Like, it's not gonna be that hard to get a field. Okay, just kidding. They're the ones who get a field goal to extend the lead. So now I have to find a way to make Brody Croyle Patrick Mahomes on this drive. But we're jumping to the last play of the game, which if I'm showing it to you, that means something must have happened, right? Like maybe a sick one-handed grab by Dwayne Bowe or defensive pass interference in the end zone to give us an untimed play from the one. Like, there's no way I choked this, right? Yeah, okay, never mind. Obviously I choked this. It's Brody Croyle at quarterback. Honestly, that first failed attempt was more interesting than the next one, but what is kind of funny is the Packers punted the ball back to me after the 2-minute warning with only one timeout, so they effectively just gave me the win. Like, I just had to kneel it out. I think this is the one that makes the least sense so far. And wow, my Jets actually got a Madden moment. I am genuinely surprised by that. This was a year before the Jets actually became really good for like the only time in my life. Low-key, Chad Pennington was always my guy though. Like, if he didn't have those rotator cuff injuries, I genuinely believe he would have led us to a Super Bowl. Speaking of injuries, this animation is very blitz the league. In real life, the Jets failed to score on this drive, so we're just trying to reverse history on this one. But God, name a more iconic duo than Chad Pennington and shoulder injuries. But hey, look, Kellen Clemens is actually in now, so if we're gonna win this game, he's gonna be the quarterback. And I came real close to failing because it's 3rd and goal with about 10 seconds, but we get the touchdown. And for the 2-point conversion, I went right back to Brad Smith to get it done. This is definitely the only Jets moment we're getting in this game. And I'll give you $2 if you can tell me who this quarterback is. But I'll give you a hint, it's not the quarterback in the game right now, but we gotta score this touchdown. Okay, we throw a pick on the first play. I fail. All right. Even though we're definitely in field goal range, I can't complete this moment unless I throw a touchdown pass because that's what the Falcons did in real life in this moment. And this is before the Julio Jones era, but I do have Roddy White on the outside. Even though it was very specific, it was pretty quick to get done. For this next moment, I named the file F this one. Because we're controlling the Vikings with 6 minutes left and starting on 4th down by 16 points. And I swear these older games were just harder to play. Like, how does Adrian Peterson fail to get it on 4th and inches and he fumbles? Even with 4.5 minutes to go, this one's over. And the next one, can't even get the first 4th down. Next attempt, throw a pick right away. I think you see a trend emerging. On the next attempt, I finally get my first touchdown of 3 needed for this moment. And the only way to make this comeback possible, I have to get the first 2-point conversion. And yep, I failed to do that. At this point, I'm 30 minutes in and I have not even got step 1 done, but this time, Adrian Peterson's gonna make his man miss and get in the end zone. So can I just get the 2-point conversion to even have remotely a chance? And we do. And then of course, in the most comedy of errors, the Broncos get this kickoff. Literally, Hall makes one spin move, gets a good block on the sideline, and he's gone. So yeah, I'm hating this moment. This Vikings team also really had no talent on offense outside of Adrian Peterson. So yeah, I'm gonna force feed him the ball on every single attempt. Would you look at that? We're finally at the point where we can actually play defense and we get an interception, so we're getting the ball back with a good amount of time to go. So now I need touchdown number 2. Adrian Peterson hurdles a guy and gets into the end zone. But now I need the 2-point conversion to tie the game, and I'm just gonna run it in with Tavares Jackson to be safe. Only have 2 timeouts, so I need to stop the Broncos from getting a first down. And I thought I got lucky by taking Jay Cutler out of the game. And Patrick Ramsey almost made this super easy for us, throwing an interception, but somehow we can't catch the ball. It's all right though, because we're back on offense with about a minute to go. We're gonna get a first down here with Adrian Peterson and get out of bounds. But a few plays later, it's 4th down. I mean, I'm just trying trying to run out of the pocket, and I get sacked. I'm an hour and 6 minutes in here, and that was the closest we've gone so far. So now with 45 seconds in the next attempt, we get the touchdown and 2-point, but I have no timeout, so I have to try to get the onside kick, and of course we don't get it. So yeah, it's still a failure just like the rest. On the next attempt, we're jumping in when we're tied at 19, and Jay Cutler just did me the biggest favor in the world throwing that pick, because now I have 2 minutes and I'm at the 30-yard line. Like, this has to be the one. I cannot screw this up. I'm an hour and 40 minutes in and I'm in field goal range, so I'm just praying I don't fumble, and I am literally saying prayers that I make this kick because my mental sanity is gone. I cannot play this any longer. Thank God it's done. The next few are easy, so let's go through them quick. Starting with Niners Gold Rush, where we have to stop the Cardinals on their drive and lead our team downfield to score, because in real life the Cardinals actually won this game, but this time around Frank Gore is going to get the walk-off touchdown. Pretty straightforward challenge. Next we got Steel City Clash, which was a wildcard game that the Jaguars actually won. Yeah, the Steelers losing in a wildcard game. I'm shocked too. But all we have to do on this one is just prevent them from getting the first down here on 4th and 2, and we complete the moment. Next we got Cool Under Pressure, which is another wildcard do-over where the Chargers actually got the stop here in real life, but this time around we just gotta... Really, Joseph Adai? You have to step out of bounds? This time around we just have to score with Peyton Manning and the Colts, and Joseph Adai is not going to step out of bounds this time. So in this alternate universe, the Colts moved on. Next, we got Bengals stuff Ravens. Well, we're controlling Cincinnati and need to keep the Ravens from scoring from the 1, which is actually harder than you think, especially because for this moment, they get 4 downs to do it. And on the next play, Joe Flacco actually finds Wilcox in the back of the end zone. But then something weird happened because the Ravens actually kicked the extra point this time. On the last failed attempt after they scored, the moment just ended. So I'm not really sure what is actually happening. So I'm just running back the kick, and I think maybe I'll try to win before the game's over. And then it just said we succeeded. We literally did not, but we got a lot of moments to play, so I'm not complaining. So next up is perfection, where this time around we're actually trying to help the Patriots get to 16-0, and Jabbar Gaffney grabs this ball. Nice turn on the sideline for a first. I know there's people who think the Chiefs dynasty is really annoying these days, but there was truly nothing worse than the 07 Patriots for how annoying they were. But for this moment, we're helping them get to that undefeated season. Next, we got Raiders block the Browns, where there's under a minute in the 4th quarter, so we just got to keep the Browns from scoring. And I really thought we forced a safety there, but apparently not. But they're going to check it down on 4th and 18 from the 2. This one's done very quickly. Next, we got Bills circle the wagon. And this is probably the moment where I did the dumbest thing in this video. But you actually might notice too, this is the same Redskins-Bills game we played earlier, except now we're controlling the Bills, and we actually have to lead the comeback to win the game. And we only started down by 11 with a decent amount of time, so this isn't that hard. But now it's 4th and goal with 15 seconds left, and we're gonna run in with Trent Edwards to get the lead. But now this is where I did the really dumb thing, because there's really no way they can get in position for a field goal, but Clinton Portis shakes one tackle, and then I miss the second and the third, and shakes off my last tackle attempt to go all the way to get the touchdown as times expire. I am genuinely embarrassed in my tackling there. So on attempt number 2, I made sure to get my touchdown as time expired, so there was no way I could screw this up. Next, we got no cardiac cards, and like, this is the most basic of basic scenarios because I just need to lead the Ravens downfield for a field goal. It's also so weird to see a rookie Ray Rice wearing number 39, just because you think of him as 27, but he was very dangerous in the NFL in his time. And from here, it's just an easy chip shot field goal to win the game and complete this moment. Now, Save the Saints might be the funniest moment in 09 because it's 4th and 1 from the Bucks. We just need to stop them from getting a first. And Jeff Garcia takes the snap and slides down for a loss. That's literally it. That's the entire moment. So after that, we go to break the steel curtain, which once again, we're playing the same moment as earlier, except now we're on the opposite side. So this time we need to get the Jaguars the win, and it's 4th down, but we are going to pick up the first. And we're only down by 1, so I can play for the field goal here, but I'm going to playmaker Fred Taylor upfield and actually throw into 4 defenders, which was very risky. But it's fine because we got the completion and I'm able to milk as much clock as possible. So now as time expires, I can send the Jaguars to the next round of the playoffs. Hey look, it's Mac Jones. Next, we got Titans turnaround. And there is a great SportsCenter highlight for this. So I'm going to let Chris Berman tell you what happened.
San Diego down 17-3 on the road. Beautiful play under pressure by Rivers to LaDainian Tomlinson. Touchdown. Later from the 11, Rivers. Antonio Gates is there on the alley-oop. We're tied at 17 with seconds to go. Do you kick a fit? No. LaDainian Tomlinson left. What? And then boom, boom, boom. End zone. Game over.
I love Chris Berman, man. Like, they don't make him like him anymore. But now, back in Madden, I need to prevent the Chargers from coming back to win this game. And giving up the 1 touchdown's not the worst thing, but what is the worst thing is this fumble that the Chargers can pick up and take all the way for the touchdown to tie the game. So now we're tied at 17 with a minute to go, and I'm gonna playmaker Lendell White upfield, who makes the grab, and he's able to shake 2 tackles here and get all the way to the 10. And the Chargers have no timeout, so I'm full kill on the clock mode here. And I ran it all the way down to 2 seconds to put up the kick and win as time expires. All right, speed round, Houston Heroics. We're down by 6, controlling the Texans. The Titans are all out blitzing, so I hit Owen Daniels, who's wide open, who goes all the way for the touchdown to tie the game. Obviously hit the extra point to take the lead, and we complete this moment. Then we got beat the Bolts, controlling the Colts down by 4 with 30 seconds to go, and I'm gonna throw deep here to Reggie Wayne, who makes a great grab down to the 11. And now from the 2, we're under 10 seconds. I'm gonna throw and hit Anthony Gonzalez for the touchdown to complete this moment. And then we got don't kick it to him. And I mean, it's the greatest returner of all time, Devin Hester. Let's just appreciate this return in its raw form.
Devin Hester, a good chance here from the 25. 40. Here he goes. Cuts it back, and he is gone. 10, 5, touchdown, Devin Hester.
So yeah, we're in that exact same spot. And on attempt number 1, I shook not 1 tackle, not 2 tackles, not even 3 tackles, but 4 before going down and failing for the first time. And as you can imagine, a punt return is pretty difficult. So yeah, I failed 32 more times. Actually 33 more times, but this happened a bunch where they would just kick the ball out of bounds and I'd fail. Like, how is that even fair? And on attempt 35, about 26 minutes in, I had an idea. My blockers were always too deep downfield, so what if I just started running around in circles until I tire out the Broncos or like catch an edge or a block or something like that? And it actually worked. You can literally see the joy by how I'm moving Devin Hester. This was a difficult one, but genuinely fun to play. Next, we got Cowboys Wild Ride, which is actually pretty tough because I somehow have to find a way to win the game in under 2 minutes. And Jason Witten just got a great block on the outside, so he goes all the way for the touchdown. And of course, we need the 2-point conversion to tie the game, and I don't see anybody open. Just throw it at TO and hope to get lucky. But I made this a lot harder for myself because I went for the interception here and missed, and the Bills go all the way for the touchdown. So now I'm down by 7 with about a minute to go, and I hit Marion Barber out of the backfield, and he's able to get a first and get out of bounds. I have 3 timeouts, but I have to work quickly here, so I hit Jason Witten across the middle for another first. A little bit later on this drive, there's 30 seconds left. I'm down to 1 timeout and hit T.O., who gets down to the 2, and that used my last timeout, and I do not see a single receiver open here, so I throw it to Terry Glenn, who ran backwards and actually lost yards, and thankfully barely got 1 more snap in, but I hit Terry Glenn for the touchdown. But now to pass this moment, I need the 2-point conversion, and Marion Barber's wide open to win the game for the Cowboys. And lucky for us, we got a second Devin Hester moment in Madden 09, because in that same Bears and Broncos game from earlier, Devin Hester returned a punt and a kickoff for a touchdown because he is the greatest returner of all time. So now the Madden moment's simple. We have to do the exact same thing in game. But on the first attempt, it wasn't even kicked to Devin Hester, but I figured I'll try returning it anyway, and I actually found space and got it done in 1 attempt. I kind of feel like I broke the rules on this one. Next, we got Rally the Rams, where this moment starts off with me needing to get an onside kick, and you'll see later in the video that gets really hard for me. Pause. Anyway, I'm at the 37 with 12 seconds, and I have no timeout, so I have to get this out of bounds, and I somehow hit the perfect throw along the sideline, which set me up for a 52-yard field goal attempt that I actually ended up making. I feel like I played this moment to perfection. Next, we got Lions Roar for 34, and in this one, we just have to put up 34 points in the 4th quarter like they did in real life. And shout out to Rex Grossman, who made this even easier for me by throwing this pick that I was able to take back for a touchdown. Now here's the next touchdown to Calvin Johnson, and the next one went to Joik Bell, if you remember that name, and the last one with 14 seconds left in the game, of course, went to Calvin Johnson. This wasn't hard, but it was time consuming. Next, we got Heads Up Play, where in real life, the Vikings attempted a 58-yard field goal that Antonio Cromartie caught in the back of the end zone and took the entire length of the field for an NFL record 109-yard touchdown return. So as you can imagine, for the Madden moment, we just need to return this kick for a touchdown, but it's actually Darren Sproles and not Antonio Cromartie, and it's nowhere near 109 yards, but it's a touchdown nonetheless. So now we're down to our final 3 moments in Madden 09, and for Shootout in Atlanta, we have a minute to score 10 points with the Seahawks. And of course, because it's me, I take an absolutely crushing sack. So now I've made this even harder for myself because I have 30 seconds, so I need the touchdown basically on this play, and he actually shakes the tackle and gets all the way in. Part 1's done, now I need the 2-point 2-point conversion. I'm going to throw the check down here to get it. And thankfully for Madden 09, I figured out the perfect way to kick an onside kick and actually recover. So now I have 20 seconds and still 1 timeout to work with. So I'm going to playmaker Julius Jones upfield, and he finds the perfect pocket of field where there's no defenders, and I get all the way past the 25, setting up a 40-yard field goal attempt as time expires to win the game, and we completed the comeback. Next, we got historic kick return. So the Bucs joined the NFL in 1976, and it took them 31 years to get their first ever kickoff return touchdown, and of all people, a former college quarterback turned wide receiver Michael Spurlock was the guy to do it. Fun fact, they've only scored 4 all-time in 50 years. So last but not least for this game, we have giant upset, which is one of the most infamous Super Bowls in history, thanks to this insane effort by both Eli Manning to escape this sack, and even more than that, David Tyree, who somehow snagged this ball one-handed against his helmet. But even more infamous than that, this giant upset ended the Patriots season with a crushing loss. I will die on the hill that Eli Manning is a Hall of Famer just because of those 2 Super Bowl wins over the Patriots dynasty. And now we have to recreate history and beat the Patriots again, and we're going to start with a check down to Brandon Jacobs for a first. And I've got myself to 4th and 7 with 40 seconds left. And thankfully I find Steve Smith open for another first down. And now with 22 seconds in this game, I found Jeremy Shockey up the middle for the Super Bowl winning touchdown, which means I have now completed all 34 Madden moments in Madden 09. So now we move on to Madden 10. And the first moment here is championship number 6, which is all about the iconic throw that Ben Roethlisberger made in the Super Bowl against the Cardinals, and one of the single greatest catches in Super Bowl history by Santonio Holmes in the back of the end zone. Even to this day, I still don't know how he caught this ball in bounds. So we begin this moment on that drive and need to recreate history and score that touchdown. Also gotta say, I really think the game looks a lot better in Madden 11 than it did in the last one. But now we're at the 13 with 40 seconds to go, and it's 3rd down, so just gotta pick the first down to keep this drive alive. And while it's not required, I wanted to get the touchdown with Santonio Holmes to recreate this moment properly. So that's 1 out of 34 done for Madden 10. So next up is who wants it more. And the Falcons have Matt Ryan now, but we're controlling the Broncos and gotta keep him from scoring on this drive. And that incompletion gives us the ball back, and this first down by Noshawn Moreno is going to end the game. I do love the quick and painless Madden moments. Speaking of, we got Colts comeback, which is exactly how it sounds. We just need to finish this drive with Peyton Manning and Dallas Clark, and I thought about killing more time here, but I accidentally slid into the end zone, but it completed the moment anyway. Next, we got Circle the Wagons. It's kind of crazy how long the Bills went with Trent Edwards as their quarterback. Also, T.O.'s here now, which is weird to see. Like, I obviously remember he did play for them at the end of his career, but it's just weird to see, like him in a Bengals uniform too. But we're only down by 2 points, so I just had to get us in field goal range to win the game for the Bills. And 5 moments in, we're back to the Steelers. I'd honestly love if someone in the comments like ran the data on which teams got the most moments and which teams even got none. Like, the statistics of this could be a video in itself, but I honestly have no desire to do it myself. So now I'm at the 2 with 14 seconds left, and of course, I throw an interception to lose the game. Or maybe not, because they returned it to the 1 and I actually forced the safety. So Pat McAfee's gonna pump me the ball back, and we're only down by 2 points, so I still have a chance, because I can attempt an insanely long 61-yard field goal, and Jeff Reed was a good kicker in his time, so duh, he doesn't have the leg for it. Okay, well, it was fun for a second when I thought I had a chance. Second time around, though, I'm not gonna fail, because I'm gonna hit Heath Miller for the touchdown to get this moment done in 2 attempts. Next, we got Presidential, which is yet another punt return moment, and I'm actually really enjoying doing these, because you know that I'm just gonna run around in circles like a psycho until I figure out which hole I can fit in. Pause. And then I can, find my space. I'm lost now after that. I'm not redoing this one. I'm not redoing it. Punt return moments are great. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyway, Falcons late flight. In this one, we got 6 seconds with the Falcons and Matt Ryan to win the game. So obviously I'm gonna throw deep to Roddy White because he is the best receiver on this team. And he goes all the way for the touchdown. Like, that was pretty much the only way to win this moment. Next is Texans Stopple Fins. And this one's exclusively the Andre Johnson show because I'm throwing deep to him here. And he somehow catches the ball off a deflection. And after a catch like that, how could I not go right back to him? And he's got this one for a touchdown to win the game for the Texans. All right, second Colts one in 9 moments. But in this one, we're down by 17 with about 5.5 minutes to go, so we got to work quick. A little bit later, with 2:45 in the game, we got the ball back and a touchdown to Dallas Clark. So to have a chance, I got to stop the Texans one more time on defense to get the ball back. And with 90 seconds left in this game, I'm at the 24, and I hit Dallas Clark once again for another touchdown, this time to take the lead. And the Texans were able to drive the ball all the way to the 11, but they got no timeouts left, so this sack wins the game for the Colts. Next, we got take a stand, and literally all we have to do is stop the Niners on 4th and goal from the 1, and he caught it out of bounds, so we win. Next, we got no second chances, and we're tied at 30 in overtime, controlling the Seahawks, so we have to lead them downfield to score, but unfortunately, I threw a pick, which, yeah, they take all the way for the touchdown, so apparently there are second chances, because I just got to get us in field goal range, and TJ, who's your daddy, gets all the way to the 32, which sets up a very makeable field goal that we nail with ease to win the game for the Seahawks. Next, we got to get the ball back. In real life, the Browns failed to make a stop on this drive, but here, Willie Parker fumbles, so I get gift wrapped the ball inside the 20-yard line right away. Oh God, we're in the Brady Quinn era now. Like, I actually thought he could be an NFL quarterback, but he went to the worst place possible for him. But the Browns did have an older Jamal Lewis in the backfield with him who gets a touchdown, reversing history for the Browns. Next, we got close the deal, and it's at this point I'm wondering how they actually selected the moments for this game. Like, don't get me wrong, they're all unique scenarios, and most of them are pretty challenging to complete, but compared to Madden 09, they feel a little less iconic of moments, if that makes sense. But you never know what you're gonna get, like the ball deflects off Andre Johnson perfectly into Casey's hand for the touchdown. I love when weird stuff like that happens playing these. Next, we got Eagles take flight, not to be confused with Falcons late flight. I feel like they were trying to be a little clever with the wordplay there, but when you're playing these back to back to back, it feels just a little bit lazy, I'm not gonna lie. In real life, the Cowboys stopped the Eagles comeback, but here I hit Jeremy Maclin, who turns it upfield and gets in for the touchdown. So now the Cowboys have 3 timeouts and a minute to work with, so I just gotta stop them from getting in field goal range, but Marion Barber breaks that tackle and takes it all the way to the 50. I kind of feel like I choked an earlier one against the Cowboys too, but at this point, I can't really remember. And like an idiot, I jumped off sides here, so this is a free play that the Cowboys are gonna score a touchdown on anyway, so it doesn't even matter that I was offsides. So now I'm down by 4 with 10 seconds to go, so I just gotta throw deep and hope to get lucky, and I'm throwing to Deshaun Jackson, who catches the ball with 1 second and I'm spamming timeout, but they don't give me it, so I fail. Feel like I got scammed on that one, but this time I score my touchdown with Brian Westbrook with less time on the clock. So now I just need to not choke on the last play, which is easier said than done considering I've done it many times. But Romo gets popped and Marion Barber catches the ball, which is actually going to end the game for him because they can't stop the clock in time. That worked out pretty well for us. Next up is pack it in. In this one, we're controlling the Vikings down by 5 with under 2 minutes to go, so we have to go 70 yards for the touchdown. You know who's an often forgotten about NFL player? My man out of Florida, Percy Harvin, who would have been a beast if he never got hurt. And while I love Percy, I have to force feed the ball to Adrian Peterson every time I play with the Vikings. And since we're only up by 1, I'm going for 2 to make it a 3-point lead. And you'll see why that's important in a second, because the Packers have 3 timeouts in 20 seconds, and more importantly, Aaron Rodgers, who hits James Jones for the first. So now they're at their own 42 with about 10 seconds in this game, and Rodgers hits Greg Jennings across the middle, who shakes a tackle and gets all the way to the 36-yard line, which sets them up for a long field goal attempt, but thankfully, he misses left. We kind of got lucky on this one. Now we're in the AFC West with why not roll the dice. We start on 4th and 10 from the 10 with just over a minute and hit Brandon Stokely in the back of the end zone for a touchdown. But the point of this moment is we have to go for 2 to take the lead, and I hit Jabbar Gaffney to do just that. So now we got to stop the Chargers from getting in field goal range, and the ball deflects off LT's hands into Brian Dawkins' hands. I honestly don't even remember him playing for the Broncos. It just is weird to see him in this uniform. But Weapon X seals the victory. So now we're halfway through Madden 11, but bruh, I am honestly exhausted of the Texans in this game. Like, they have Andre Johnson, they made some good playoff runs in their time, but they're just not that special. At least in this one, we're tied at 21, so I just have to get him in field goal range, and Owen Daniels is gonna do just that. So I ran it down to 2 seconds to put up the kick as time expires to win with a field goal. Next, we got right the ship. So we start on 4th and 3, controlling the Bucs, and we gotta get a touchdown because we are down by 4 points. And I hard stalled out, so it's the last play of the game, but Kellen Winslow grabs this touchdown. I kind of wish it wasn't him who scored because he's a terrible human being. And 19 moments in, we're playing with the Patriots for the first time. I remember this game vividly because the Jets rarely won in Foxborough, especially against this era of the Patriots. And as much as it pains me, I gotta help the Patriots defeat my Jets, so of course I'm going to Randy Moss, who catches it over Darrelle Revis. But as with many of these moments, we need the 2-point conversion to win the game. Hey, remember that time Brady kissed his son on the mouth? That was pretty weird, huh? Next, Carolina lets it slip away. We're tied at 28 with just over a minute to go, and I hit Muhammad for a first down here. In real life, the Panthers ended up missing the field goal on this drive and lost the game in overtime. I wonder how many times I've said, and then I kicked a field goal to win the game as time expires. It is how a lot of these moments end though. And really, another Panthers moment back to back. Like, that's kind of what I was saying earlier. Like, the moment selection just feels weird in this game. Why aren't we controlling the Saints? It's almost almost identical to the last moment too, so like, why does this have to be its own thing? But hey, guess what? I kicked a field goal as time expired to win the game. Oh my God, I'm losing my sanity. Anyway, last ditch effort. In this one, we're controlling the Eagles and it's 4th and 4 with 10 seconds, so I hit Westbrook out of the backfield who gets out of bounds. I have no timeouts either, so I really gotta score on this play, and Brent Selleck grabs it. The other common theme, we have to go for 2, so Brian Westbrook, here you go, and okay, we do get it. I thought I was gonna fail on that one. Now, could this be the one? Is by far the most difficult Madden moment in this game, because I'm controlling the Lions down by 8 with 45 seconds to go, and I hit Megatron across the middle for a first down, and now I'm down to 20 seconds. Like, I have no idea how I'm gonna score with this little time left, and because I can't stop the clock, I barely snap the ball before time expires, so I have to go to Calvin Johnson in the end zone, who catches it. But the only way to send this game to overtime, I need a 2-point conversion, and I do grab that. So now I'm thinking to myself, this is a little bit harder, but it shouldn't be that bad to get a field goal in overtime, right? But yeah, this is me playing, so I'm gonna make it harder for myself because I throw to Calvin Johnson, and the ball's intercepted, so yeah, I think I'm screwed now, right? So I figure I'm just gonna restart this one, like no big deal, and then wait, Washington missed the kick. So now I'm back in basically the same spot as before, so I'm just gonna hit Calvin Johnson, he's open, let's make no stupid decisions here. Watching this footage back, I don't know why I just didn't kick the field goal already, but I'm getting it closer just to make it a little bit easier, but it's effing karma that I did not kick it because I threw a pick. I am the dumbest person alive. Like, what is wrong with me? Washington once again gets in field goal range, and guess what? They missed again. So now I have 8 seconds. Like, I've been gifted this game and have thrown it away multiple times, and Calvin Johnson catches it, and I can't call timeout in time. Oh my God, I'm a moron. I don't know what was wrong with me on that first attempt, but we're gonna get the 2-point conversion here to have a chance in attempt 2. But I left Washington more time on the clock, so now I gotta make sure they don't get in field goal range. Okay, yeah, we get a pick. Now we're in business. I'm at the 36 with just over a minute to go. I still have no timeouts, and now we are gonna go all the way, except we're not, because I'm gonna slide down, because I'm gonna make sure to take more time off this clock before we score the touchdown. This one was challenging, but mostly it was because I was being an idiot. Want to see the fastest moment of this video? We just gotta get the stop on 4th down, and Manning can't get it over the D-line. Feels like they intentionally gave a quick one after the last one. After that, we got catfight, where the Jaguars are down by 8 with under 2 minutes to go, so to be safe, I'm running it in with Garrard. And in real life, they scored the touchdown, but failed to get the 2-point conversion, so once again, I'm just running it in with him. Like, it's the safest play. So now we're playing defense, and I just gotta stop the Bengals from getting points on this drive, which we do. So now I got just over a minute and no timeouts, and I don't see anybody open here, but I eventually find Williamson, who's able to take this ball past the 30, and I still have plenty of time to work with, so I'd like to get the ball a little closer to make the field goal easy, so we're gonna go down with MJD. And you know what I haven't said in a few minutes? I kicked a field goal as time expired to win the game. What a novel concept. And finally, we have a really unique moment again, because we're jumping back into the Super Bowl on the drive where Kurt Warner hit Larry Fitzgerald for a 64-yard touchdown to take the lead with about 2.5 minutes to go in one of the most exciting plays in Super Bowl history. And even though we're jumping in the same spot, the score is different for some reason. I'm not really sure why, but the goal remains the same, that we're trying to get the Cardinals their first ever Super Bowl win in franchise history. And even though it's not required, I really only want to get this touchdown with Larry Fitzgerald because I would have loved to see him get a Super Bowl in real life. But I've milked the clock to about 20 seconds when Beanie Wells gets his touchdown. Or maybe he didn't, but I do really love this presentation of the refs discussing if he actually got the touchdown on this play. And he did, so the Cardinals are Super Bowl champions. I don't understand why that moment wasn't last for this game, because now we're jumping into a week 1 game of the Panthers versus Chargers where I'm trying to get the comeback win for the Chargers. How did he miss that tackle? D'Angelo Williams has to go down because the moment's not over till the clock hits 0, so I wanted to kill more time before he gets his touchdown. And that put us up by 1, so we're gonna hand off to Williams again for the 2-point conversion. Now we just gotta stop the Chargers on defense, and they're gonna throw quick, get the first down, but the clock's gonna expire. Pretty anticlimactic compared to the last one, if you ask me. Next, we got stop Dallas's final drive, and you can tell I've been playing this game a lot because look at this perfect coverage I ran with Timmons, and I get the interception. Like, this is not how this moment's supposed to go. Like, I just made this so much easier for myself because I only need a field goal to win, and I'm already at the 24, and even closer now with Heath Miller getting down to the 10. You know what? I'm gonna say it in Italian this time. Poi ho calciato il field goal allo scadere del tempo per completare il momento. Bet you didn't know I was Italian, huh? Anyway, on this one, we have to lead the Steelers' comeback drive 45 and go 92 yards. How was this not intercepted? When you've played the game as much as I have at this point, like doing this challenge is not going to be that hard. But even watching it back, how was this ball caught? Like I fit that between 4 guys. But I do need to get the touchdown, not the field goal here. So I'm going to hit Heath Miller, who I thought was going to get in, but he didn't. So we're at the 2 now with about 10 seconds to go. And I was going to throw to Willie Parker, but Swede came across the middle and grabbed the touchdown. Refs even confirmed it. We did in fact steal the win. Now it's Tomlinson for the win. And we just got to stop the Chargers from scoring on 4th and goal from the 1. And Rivers goes to sneak it and goes nowhere. So then I'm running the Wildcat from the end zone, which is a stupid idea. So we take the safety. Don't really know what I was thinking running the Wildcat from there. I figured I'm using the Dolphins, so I had to do it, but we get the pick here and we take it all the way back to the 1. Obviously went down so I can kill more time before I get the Ronnie Brown touchdown on this play. And it's another one complete. Gotta shout out my boy RBT for the next one, because we're controlling the Titans and we gotta keep Joe Flacco from leading the comeback drive, and he throws a pick to Keith Bullock. And I did think about running it back, but I decided to be smarter to just kneel out the clock instead, because we got a lot more moments to complete. But we're actually down to the last 3 in this game. And we're controlling the Bucs against the Raiders, down by 8 with a minute to go, and I threw a pick. I couldn't quit this game fast enough. Like, Josh Freeman was so bad as a quarterback, but they blitzed the corner that was covering Bryant, so he's able to go all the way. And of course, I'm gonna try to slide down, but I slide into the end zone. Kind of screwed that one up. I didn't want to leave the Raiders any time, but now we got to go for 2 to get it, and we're short. Lovely. My least favorite thing about this challenge is when I'm playing with quarterbacks that just aren't that good, because it just makes it less fun. But Kellen Winslow is gonna go all the way and slide down, and this time I didn't screw that up, so I can kill more time before Ward gets this touchdown. So now I need the 2-point conversion again, and I'm running it in with Ward to make it easy. And I was gonna cut this out of the video, but this is the one and only time you will see Jamarcus Russell, because I promise you, he does not make it to the next game. And in the most Jamarcus Russell thing that could ever happen, they got the ball to the 45 with no timeouts and never even snapped it. Honestly checks out for the biggest draft bust of all time. Next we got win or go home. Another moment with the Vikings where we're down late, and in this scenario, we're only down by 2. So I'm just gonna cut to the end, because you know how this goes. We're gonna kick a field goal as time expires to win the game. So now we can move on to the last moment, which is trial by fire. We start this moment at our own 32 in overtime, tied at 20, and it's 4th down now. So obviously the goal of this moment is that we need to get in range for a field goal, and somehow Hines Ward caught that. Overall, I would say Madden 10 moments were okay, but they were definitely less exciting than Madden 09. I still think though that even though these moments maybe are a little less special, fans of each of these teams are going to remember watching these games live when they happen. Like, that's the fun part of being a diehard fan. You truly never forget these things. And I hope you're enjoying experiencing all these moments with me. But with that one done, we have now completed all 34 moments in Madden 10, which means we can move on to our final game with Madden 11. And we're off to a great start with the Bungles, because I get to play you the real life clip, because the commentary is iconic.
Bat it off. Oh, God! Stokely down the sideline! Touchdown!
I want you to put the word out there that we back up.
So we start at that exact same spot, and ideally I'd love to get Stokely the touchdown in game as well. But I only have 10 seconds left. I do still have a timeout, and I find Jabbar Gaffney, who gets all the way to the 30. And unfortunately I ran out of time, so I'm gonna have to settle for the field goal to win the game. Huge shout out to Gus Johnson though. Next we got Brady's back, which takes us back to Tom Brady's first game after he was out the previous year with a knee injury. And in real life he looked like vintage Brady, leading the Patriots downfield to score, but how was this not picked? The whole goal of this moment is to reverse history and stop the Patriots from coming back to win this game. But now they're at the 3 with 30 seconds and still have 2 timeouts, so this is gonna be tough. And it's Madden with the Patriots, so they're basically cheating, just like real life, honestly. Somehow Maroney didn't get in the end zone there, but he's throwing to the corner here and we're able to break it up. So now we need one more stop and we are gonna get it. Always love watching Tom Brady lose. Next we got Houday. In this one, the Packers are down by 7 with about 10 seconds to go, but I'm gonna hit Jermichael Finley, who somehow is gonna get stuffed at the 1. And with no timeouts, I unfortunately ran out of time to fail my first attempt. Any of these moments where we have no timeouts and only a little bit of time to work with, it's pretty much guaranteed that I'm gonna fail a couple times, but Greg Jennings somehow caught this. But we need the 2-point conversion to win, and Aaron Rodgers is pretty mobile. Really? He's not fast enough. Are you kidding? Brother. We actually start this moment with a little more time, but I've been jumping in a little bit later, but this time I'm going to Greg Jennings again, and he's somehow gonna get caught. He's not fast enough. There is no world where he does not score in that play, so we're gonna go right back to him here, for the touchdown. Once again, we need the 2-point conversion or we fail, and what was this throw by Rodgers, and how was it caught? That was the most awkward off-balance throw that somehow worked out perfectly, and thankfully, we get the pick here to shut down any possible comeback. And 4 moments in, we already have our second Patriot one. And it was at this moment I realized that the last game had so few Patriot moments because Brady was out the whole year. It is genuinely hard to believe that in real life, the Jets defense stopped the Patriots from scoring any touchdowns. Like, that doesn't happen. But this is when Rex Ryan in that defense was still amazing, but Brady got crushed and somehow still hit Wes Welker for the touchdown. It feels sacrilegious to have to beat my own team this many times, especially while controlling the Patriots. Why did the Vikings bring in Brett Favre?
Wants to throw deep and goes to the end zone for Brett Lewis. Touchdown!
Yeah, that's why, because he can pull off stuff like that. And this time, it's Bernard Berrien getting the winning touchdown. Brett Favre makes it too easy. Next, we got Bungles No More. And we start on 4th and 2 with the Bengals down by 5 against the Steelers, and Chad Ochocinco's got this first. In real life, Carson Palmer clutched up in this moment, so now we gotta do the same, and what a toe tap by Chad Ochocinco. Even that salsa dance is iconic. But now we gotta stop Big Ben from leading a comeback of his own, and we get the interception to seal the victory for the Bengals. Next, we got Mile High D. Pause. Also, show Big D what Mile High D is all about. What are we doing? Anyway, the Cowboys are at the 8, and we just need to stop them from scoring, but Tony Romo finds Dez Bryant in the back of the end zone. Off to a great start here. On attempt number 2, I got them to 3rd and goal when Romo threw out to the sideline, and Roy Williams caught this one-handed but out of bounds. So now just one more play. I need to make the stop. Romo's gonna throw back to Dez Bryant in the corner of the end zone, but we break it up to get the win. Next, we got home field advantage. I find it so strange when they put the same team in back-to-back moments, especially when we're going against them both times. But we're tied at 20 in overtime, and Jamal Charles shot right through the middle, and he was gone. Like, there was just no way anyone was catching him. He got the nickname the Speed Demon for a reason. Next, we got Cardiac Cats, and it's kind of surprising. The Bengals have been in 4 of the 9 moments we've played so far in this game. And in this game in real life, Carson Palmer led an 80-yard drive to win the game, but I'm going deep on this play, and Chad Ochocinco's got it. He was a human cheat code. So now I just got to stop the Ravens from coming back to win, and I'm getting pretty good at defense here because Flacco gives me an interception. Will the Bengals get more moments in this game? That's what we're going to find out. Next, Josh McDaniels goes up against the Patriots. God, these Broncos uniforms are hideous, but you know what's not hideous? Demaryius Thomas making a great catch along the sidelines. And even though they introduced a new field goal meter in this game, it's still ridiculously easy. The Broncos should never bring back these uniforms. Next, we got Edgar Allan Poe, apparently. In real life, Joe Flacco led a 13-point comeback with about 3.5 minutes to go in the 4th, so we got to do the same here. But they actually missed the game-winning field goal, so let's hope to not do that. But I'm going to throw deep to Todd Heap, who makes a great grab. Mark Andrews could take notes on clutch catches. And it's always a safe bet that if I'm showing you a kickoff, something happened. Because Percy Harvin fielded this ball at the 3 and ran for about 20 yards before he fumbled, and we got the ball right back. So now we got the ball to 24, and we're only down by 5, and Ray Rice is just punching tacklers left and right. And I brought the clock down to about 1:20 before I hit Derek Mason for the touchdown. But we need the 2-point conversion to make it a field goal game, and Ray Rice hits the open hole hard. And it's 4th down on the Vikings' next drive, and Ray Lewis murders Favre, but the ball's deep in the air, and thankfully Ed Reed breaks it up. We call that a killer win. Next, we just need to not lose the game. Remember what I said earlier about playing with bad quarterbacks? Well, Matt Moore is the quarterback for the Panthers, but at least he's throwing to Steve Smith, who was obviously a beast when he wasn't busy, doing some other things. In real life, the Panthers muffed a punt that ended up costing them the win, and I'm doing my best to make sure we don't get to that scenario, but we still need the 2-point conversion, and D'Angelo Williams got it. God, how long was Trent Edwards the Bills quarterback? Like, I really don't remember it being that long. There's no way he dices us up, right? Right, because he fumbles, and we pick it up, and we're gonna take it all the way back, and you know how this goes. We're not gonna score, because I kicked the time as field game expires, a goal to win. You know exactly what I said. Next, we got extra chance, and it's nice to know the Saints exist because we never get to play with them, but Chad Henne's gonna hit Ronnie Brown on 4th down to get the big first down. In real life, Henne threw a pick 6 to lose this game, so we're just gonna focus on Ronnie Brown running. And this time I'm not gonna screw up the Wildcat because I'm just gonna run it in with Ronnie Brown because that was his specialty. But I got Drew Brees and the Saints to 4th down, so let's hope we could stop him here, and Devery Henderson's not even close. Maybe one of these times we'll get to control the Saints. Next, we got the upset that never was, because in real life, the Colts blew out the Rams, winning the game by 36 points, and I just got to do the opposite of that and put up a lot of points in this 4th quarter, so I'm throwing deep to Danny Amendola to get to the 50. Just gonna make this quick. Here's touchdown number 1, touchdown number 2, once he eventually gets there. Touchdown number 3, and the 2-point conversion of Steven Jackson to take the lead. And with a minute to go in this game, Peyton Manning found Dallas Clark, who broke a tackle, and then I decided I'm just gonna let him score so that I can just win the game on offense. Because I'm down by 7, so I can go for 2 to win, but Danny Amendola was an absolute monster in this game. And with 20 seconds left, I still have 2 timeouts, so when I hit Reggie Gilliard, who gets stuffed at the 1, I bang that second timeout. And from here, I'm looking for one guy and one guy only, and that's Steven Jackson, because he's probably their best offensive player. And big surprise, on the 2-point conversion, I go right back to him to get it. This moment took me probably 25 minutes, but it really felt like an hour, and it was sealed by this Carpenter interception that I took all the way back for the touchdown. Really hope we don't have any more long ones like this. Next, someone has to win. Another instance of having the same team in back-to-back games, but this time we're controlling the Lions, and we're getting past the 40, and we have 25 seconds and 2 timeouts to get a touchdown and 2-point conversion, and this is going to get us a lot closer. I know in real life the Rams were winless at this time, but the moment doesn't really translate in-game. It just kind of feels like we got to score and get the 2-point conversion. A rare full miss if you ask me. Next, we got the Jets versus Ginn. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. The entire time I was playing, I thought I was controlling the Jets. I literally only realized it while editing because after I threw this interception, or at least I thought I threw this interception, and I got the success, I thought I somehow cheesed the moment. Like I'm 84 moments in by this point, so I'm a little bit brain dead. Next, we got the return of Favre, which is arguably the greatest revenge game of all time because when he went back to Lambeau Field, he threw for 244 yards and 4 touchdown passes. And we're controlling the Packers after that last touchdown because we got to make the 11-point comeback to get the win in regulation, which is a lot of points and not a lot of time, especially considering we have no timeouts left in this game. So now we got to stop Brett Favre. Or maybe not, because on the first handoff, Adrian Peterson fumbles, but the Vikings pick it up. But on 3rd and 8 with just over a minute to go, Adrian Peterson fumbles again, and this time we got it. So we got the ball at the 30-yard line, and I'm throwing a corner route to James Jones, who's going to get all the way in for the touchdown. Thank you, Adrian Peterson, for fumbling the ball. And now we got to go for 2 to take the lead, and Donald Driver snags this ball out of the air. But Brett Favre still has 2 timeouts in 30 seconds, and he's throwing deep here, and he's got Percy Harvin. And they were able to get it all the way down to the 12 and take more time off the clock to set up an easy chip shot field goal to send this game to overtime. But Aaron Rodgers and the Packers have the ball first, and Greg Jennings is open along the sideline, and he turns this upfield to get all the way to the 36. I don't understand my obsession with not kicking easy field goals, but now it's going to be even easier. So Brett Favre returns to Lambeau and loses this time. The Padawan beats the Master. But oh my God, finish the comeback took me 2 hours to beat. So here's how it works. We start on 4th and goal from the 2 and we get a touchdown, which brings us to down by 5. So we need to go for 2 to make this a field goal game, and we are able to pick it up this time. But then we have to get an onside kick, which is basically impossible in this game. So we fail. And once again, we fail at the onside kick. I'm literally just testing different spots to put the meter to try to figure anything out. I was so down bad that 30 minutes in, I went to practice mode to see if I could figure out how to kick the ball so I have a chance to recover, and no matter what I was doing, nothing was working, and it was killing my sanity very, very slowly. Like, what am I doing? Oh wait, I got that one. All right, let's try that again. It was about 50% power with the accuracy just a little bit off, and the kick did not do the same thing at all. I am very done with practice mode. This was a complete waste of time. And if I'm gonna waste time, I might as well try it in game, so we get our touchdown to Jamal Charles. And once again, 50% power, the accuracy somewhere around the middle, and it comes close, so I'm getting warmer, but still failing. 43 minutes in now, and I think I'm onto something, so I'm just gonna keep trying it, and we actually, oh no, it was legal touching. And since they're at the 37 now, I'm running field goal blocks so that I can make MJD score, so that I can get the ball back with 45 seconds, and I can throw deep to Dwayne Bowe, who's gonna catch it, and somehow gets caught. I don't understand why receivers don't have breakaway speed in this game. Like, it makes no sense to me. And yeah, I scored again, and I'm gonna get the 2-point conversion, but I'm back in literally the exact same spot, not getting the onside kick. It was different, but still a failure. But on the next attempt, after failing the onside kick, something interesting happened. Because when I came out in field goal block to try to let him score again, they actually audibled the play. And to my surprise, Garrard actually threw the ball and completed it. But this was new information. When I inevitably fail getting the onside kick, I just need to stop them on 1st down, call timeout, stop them on 2nd down and call timeout, and come out in field goal block on 3rd down, and for some reason they audible out into a pass, and he's gonna throw deep to the left side and miss, which is phenomenal for me because they're punting the ball back, and I'm getting it with about 4 40 seconds to go in this game. But the same problem still remains, that if I don't get out of bounds when I make a completion, the clock is just going to be withering away. So now I'm at the 43 with about 20 seconds left, and I need Pope to get out of bounds here, which he's not gonna. Wait, he gets pushed forward. Oh my God, we did it. I just need to stop the Jaguars on their drive. I swear to God, we get a sack. There is a God. This took me 2 hours and 3 minutes. I gotta go through some of these next ones quicker as a palate cleanser. So for Spoil the Streak, we're controlling the Niners down by 7 with about 3 minutes to go, and Michael Crabtree is getting to the 9. And we're finishing this drive with Frank Gore on the ground getting the touchdown. And for the 2-point conversion to win, Alex Smith hits Frank Gore out of the backfield. Oh God, I needed that quick one. I hope Comeback Kid is quick too. And I never really thought of Phillip Rivers as a super clutch quarterback, but he does have 35 game-winning drives in his career. But on this one, we're controlling the Giants, so I actually have to stop him from doing that, and we get the pick with Simpton. I've never heard of this guy. Doesn't matter that I've never heard of him though. Manning's chance, are you quick? Well, it's another one where we have to stop the offense from scoring late in the fourth quarter. For comparison, Peyton Manning had 54 game-winning drives in his career, but this isn't one of them. Definitely not the hardest moment overall. Next, we got Gradkowski shines. Except it's Jason Campbell at quarterback. I'm not even sure if Gradkowski's still on the roster. I'm just going with what the game gives me. But I told you it wasn't going to be Jamarcus Russell because that was very short-lived. But now I'm down to 5 seconds, so I need to score on this play, and nobody's open, but I got the touchdown to Higgins. And now Janikowski just has to hit the extra point to win the game by 1 point. Next, we got Vinsanity. And originally, I thought this was named after Linsanity, but then I realized this game came out 2 years before that. I mean, it's just a play on Vince Young's name and Insanity, but I've really only ever heard of Linsanity being used that way. And this is a tie game with under a minute, so I'm just gonna run it with Chris Johnson and kick a game-winning field goal, this time not as time expires, but it finishes the moment anyway. Next, we got Capital Punishment, which is an unhinged name for a Madden moment, but also a real name of a WWE pay-per-view. We're controlling the Redskins with Donovan McNabb at quarterback, and we hit Santana Moss, one of my favorite Jets of all time, for a first down. So now we're at the 47. I mean, I just need to get in field goal range. I don't need to do anything stupid. And of course, for some reason, I'm still passing the ball because I just can't help myself for putting the game in danger. But now, as time expires, we do kick the field goal to win the game. Been a minute since I said that. Next, we got What Injury, which I think is the coolest moment of Matt Stafford's career because he was trying to lead the game-winning drive and was scrambling around in the pocket like a madman. And right after he threw it, he got crushed. But there was defensive pass interference in the end zone, and he was in visible pain. But the refs gave the Lions an injury timeout, even though they had none left. So Stafford came back out in the field and like a madman threw the game-winning touchdown with literally one arm. That is the most badass thing I've ever seen on an NFL field. And in game, we get the ball at the 1 yard line and I just sneak it in with him. And the extra point by Hansen gives us the win. I love Matt Stafford, man. He's so cool. Next, we got Perfection Continues. And in real life, the Colts were 10-0 at this time and up by 2 in this game. We get them to punt the ball back to us. And it was a terrible punt by McAfee, so we get the ball at the 40 and now we're at the 19. So we milk the clock and put up the kick to win the game as time expires. I really like when they make me change history. Next, we got Smelling Like Roses, and this is a Rose Bowl rematch with Vince Young going up against Matt Leinart, and I gotta go 99 yards to win the game with just over 2 minutes. I think he's a guy that if you put him in the NFL now, in his prime, he would definitely be an elite quarterback that can lead a team to a Super Bowl. Want to hear another name you totally forgot because he flamed out? Kenny Britt. And I was always a Matt Leinart guy. Like, I wanted the Jets to draft him, but this game's gonna end here on this fumble that the Titans pick up. Honestly, a bummer that both those guys didn't make it in the league. Next, we got new season, same game, and the Texans are down by 15 with just under 3 minutes to go, so we gotta make a really big comeback and not a lot of time, and I don't know how he didn't get tackled, but we're gonna get all the way down to the 1, where we're gonna finish this drive with Steve Slayton, and using the 2-minute warning and 2 timeouts, I was able to get the ball back on offense with just over a minute and a half to go. And now I'm at the 27 with Matt Schaub, who's going to get another first down here to Anderson. And I am in full milk clock mode because I don't want the Colts to get the ball. But I milked it a little too well because it's 4th and goal from the 4 with 10 seconds, but we get the touchdown to Owen Daniels. So now I just need the 2-point conversion to win the game, and Slayton's got it. I am a check down merchant in Madden 11. Next, we got Clipped Wings, where we're playing as the Bucks, and we have to stop the Falcons' comeback because we are up by 4 late in this game. Also, I'm just so distracted because the Buccaneers' yellow socks are hideous. But it's 4th down now, so if we get the stop here, the moment's complete and we're able to break up the pass. Seriously, what were those socks the Bucks had? Anyway, we got a rocky situation with McNabb going against his former team down by 3 with about a minute to go in the 4th quarter. In real life, Washington went 4-0 and lost this game, so I gotta make sure that doesn't happen. And we're up to the 35 now with 30 seconds, and Chris Cooley is wide open, and he's gonna get this ball all the way down to the 5. I still haven't used that last time out in case I get stuck here, but Clinton Portis gets in for the touchdown. Remember when people thought Kevin Cobb was gonna be the Eagles' long-term quarterback? Don't know why anyone thought that was gonna happen. Next, we got Steel Will, and this game is memorable because with 20 seconds left, Joe Flacco was strip sacked, and the Ravens were able to recover their own fumble. But with no timeouts, they had to rush on the field goal unit, and because they weren't set, Matt Stover's kick was short. But in overtime, Dennis Dixon was in for Big Ben, and he threw a pick to Paul Kruger that he was able to return back into Steelers territory. And now getting a second chance, Matt Stover nails the 29-yard kick to win. And now trying to reverse history, Troy Polamalu is able to get an interception on the first play deep in Ravens territory. So now from this spot of the field, I'm just trying to milk clock because the Ravens have no way to stop it. So now, as time expires, Jeff Reed hits the field goal to win. Honestly got lucky we got that Polamalu interception. Next we got O Canada, and on this one we're controlling the Bills, and it's 4th and 20 from our own 13-yard line, but we're able to convert. I genuinely hope there's no more Bills moments after this because I am genuinely sick of playing with Trent Edwards. Also, can I stop getting moments where I have to beat my favorite team? Like, the Jets were good at this time. Let me control them. Nobody ever wants to play as the Jets, I guess. Next, we got winning's a breeze. And 33 moments into this game, I finally get to control the Saints, and Jeremy Shockey's gonna get a huge first down. We're down by 7 with about a minute to go, and we have one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time and a Hofstra legend in Colston. And now we're at the 6 with 30 seconds, and Breeze is gonna get popped, but Jeremy Shockey's wide open in the back of the end zone. So we just gotta get this 2-point conversion, and of course, I check it down to Pierre Thomas. It was so nice to finally play with Drew Brees. Next, we got Cleveland Rocks, and we're controlling the Steelers down by 7, and we're able to convert on 4th down to Antoine Randall. So we're at the 12 now, and I'm letting the clock run just to be safe, but Heath Miller's gonna get close to another first. So now from the 3 with a minute to go, we're gonna check down to Rashad Mendenhall to get the touchdown to win the game. We're getting so close to the end here. So next we got And Your Bird Can Sing. What a surprise, we're going up against the Saints again, this time controlling the Falcons and getting a first down to Tony Gonzalez. We're only down by 3 with a minute to go, and we got Roddy White catching the ball at the 10 and taking it all the way into the end zone. So now we just gotta stop Drew Brees, and they got 3 timeouts in 30 seconds, but Marcus Colston somehow is gonna get all the way down the sideline. My tackling was abysmal there, and to make it even worse, Jeremy Shockey's gonna score on this play. And on the ensuing kickoff, the Saints squib kick it to us, which we're able to field right away, so we're gonna start this drive past the 40. If I were them, I just would have kicked it deep because we would have started the drive at the 20, but Ryan gets popped and it's caught by Finneran. And we use our second timeout, so we got 6 seconds left, and I'm just trying to get a little bit closer for the field goal because I assume I can send this game to overtime. Like, I don't think we're gonna fail here, and thankfully we don't, but the Saints got the ball first and we're able to stop them from getting points. So now I just gotta get in range for a field goal. Like, I do not need a touchdown, I shouldn't do anything stupid, but Roddy White gets a touchdown. When you got a receiver as good as him, you gotta try throwing deep. Next we got do-over, and we're controlling the Jags starting on 4th and 2, and we're gonna pick it up to MJD out of the backfield. In real life, the Dolphins got the stop on that 4th down, but we're just gonna check it down again. MJD breaks the tackle and gets another first. And now from the 2, I'm just gonna do the smart thing and continue to feed him the ball because the OG muscle hamster gets the touchdown. Brother, another Steelers one. Like, I get it, they had a good year that got them to the Super Bowl the year prior, so they're gonna have a lot of moments in this game. But when you play these back to back to back to back, you get sick of playing with the same guys. At least on this drive, we're only down by 6, so I just gotta get a touchdown. But Hines Ward breaks his tackle and goes all the way in for the touchdown. I'm almost positive this is the last Steelers moment though. Next we got Cowboys marching in, and would you look at that, we're actually controlling the Saints. Like, Drew Brees is one of my favorite players, so I just want to play with him. But on this moment I got no timeouts and I got 20 seconds, so I gotta get the touchdown quick. And Shockey caught that getting down to the 1, but Pierre Thomas is open out of the backfield. And if I've done it once, I've done it probably 40 times at this point, but the running back checkdowns are goated in this game. Next we got Raider Nation, and we're controlling the Broncos and just gotta keep them out of the end zone, and to do that, we get a pick to seal the victory for us. I love when we get a one-play moment. So now we're down to our final 10 moments. Starting with Chargerific tied at 24, and the Bengals blitz their linebackers, so Brian Matthews is wide open across the middle on the check down. And since that last play worked and we have 15 seconds with no timeouts, I'm going right back to Matthews. It took me this long to realize that the Chargers were still in San Diego at this time. I live in Los Angeles, and I still don't think of them as an LA team. And 41 moments in, we get to use the Bears for the first time. Well, I guess technically we did get to use them on 2 earlier moments moments on those Devin Hester returns. But what I mean is I think we haven't used them on offense in this game. Like, even those Devin Hester returns, I think were in an older game. It doesn't really matter, but I do think it's interesting which teams get featured a lot and which teams don't get featured at all. But Robbie Gould nails this kick in OT to give the Bears a win. Next, we got playoffs or bust. And I was wrong, the Steelers do have another moment, but this time Ray Rice punches it in. I feel bad making jokes about Ray Rice, honestly. But now, I think this has to be the last Steelers one, right? Hopefully even the last Ravens one too, but Ed Reed's gonna break this up to get moment number 42 done. Next, don't mess with Texas. And we're controlling the Texans with 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, tied at 27. And that stop on third down got us the ball back with 3 timeouts to work with on offense. But now we're at the 33 with a minute to go, and Owen Daniels is gonna get another first down for us. And now say it with me, I kicked a field goal as time expired to win the game. It's gotta be like 25 times I've said that. Next, we got Supercharged D. Seriously, Madden, what are we doing? The idea is simple here. We're up by 4, 2 minutes to go, so we just gotta stop the Chargers. And on second down, Rivers went to the exact same spot, and on third down, Rivers threw to the exact same spot, and it's broken up again. And even though the Chargers are down by 4, they still for some reason attempted a field goal and missed. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Next, we got Desert Shootout, which is a wild card game the Packers lost when Rodgers was strip sacked and accidentally kicked the ball perfectly into Carlos Dansby's hands, and he takes it all the way in for the touchdown to win. So we start this game in overtime to reverse history and get the Packers the win, but Jordy Nelson's getting past the 50. Of all the quarterbacks I've played with in this game, I'm pretty sure Rodgers is the best at throwing on the run like this. I mean, it's no surprise he's got a cannon of an arm, but Ryan Grant's gonna get us even closer here to set up the chip shot field goal to send the Packers to the divisional round and successfully reverse history. Next, we got Bring the Wood. I feel like they're just messing with me at this point, which is the divisional round game the Packers would have been playing in had they won, but I just got to return this punt with Reggie Bush, and this was the easiest kick return moment I had to do so far. The Saints go marching on. So now we got 3 moments left in this video, and once again, I need to defeat my New York Jets in one of these moments. Fun fact, Mark Sanchez has more playoff wins than Lamar Jackson, but I can tell you right now, he's not getting a win in this playoff game because now we're in field goal range. And from 30 yards out, this is a chip shot field goal for Nate Kading, so the Chargers defeat the Jets. Second to last, we got Viking Raid, and in this one we have to undo the back-breaking interception that Brett Favre threw in the NFC Championship game to Tracy Porter that ended up costing them a trip to the Super Bowl. And in this scenario, the game went to overtime, so all we have to do is get a field goal. The crazy thing about that interception is Favre had the space to run for like 5 or 10 yards to make it a very easy field goal attempt. So now we're basically at that exact same spot, and in game, I nearly threw an interception. So this is quite literally what would have happened if the Vikings gained no yards and just attempted a field goal that would have sent them to the Super Bowl. One throw literally changed history. And now, 1 hour into this video, we have 1 moment left to complete. And unfortunately for me, it's a very hard one, because the goal of this moment is to reverse history and have the Colts beat the Saints. But the problem is we have 48 seconds and 2 timeouts, so even with this 2-point conversion, succeeding in this moment is fully reliant on me recovering this onside kick, which I can't do. So the Saints can kneel it out, and we fail for the first time. But I'm not gonna have you watch every failed attempt, but I will put all 24 fails on screen at one time. LOL, just kidding. I failed this moment 54 times. But now, 2 hours and 41 minutes in, I get the first touchdown to Anthony Gonzalez. Then I attempt a 2-point conversion and throw to Joseph Adai, who somehow does not get into the end zone. Like, he must have been inches away. And of course, the time I don't get the 2-point conversion, I recover the onside kick. But I'm still alive because I'm down by 8 with 20 seconds left in this game, and I still have 2 timeouts. So there is a chance, and Dallas Clark catches it, and he's gonna go all the way for the touchdown. You have to understand, I was bricks in this moment because I'm approaching 3 hours on this moment. So if I don't get this 2-point conversion, why did he run backwards? Oh my God. But on the very next attempt, I'm gonna roll out to the right and throw across field to Dallas Clark, who's wide open in the end zone. And I really want to get this first 2-point conversion to make the second touchdown easier. So I did it on the last attempt. I'm gonna do the exact same kick. Can I please recover this? It bounced off him and I got it. So now I'm at the 36 with 45 seconds left, and I still have 2 timeouts in my pocket. So I don't have to do anything crazy. I can just continue to throw the vertical routes to Dallas Clark because that's working for me. And I'm saving that last time out just in case of a disaster, but Dallas Clark's open and I got the touchdown. So completing this challenge lies on the foot of Adam Vinatieri. And now I just need to get 1 stop on defense. Like, this is the last play of the game. Please, for the love of God, we get a sack. It's over. I did it. I did it. I literally can't believe It's finally over, which means I have completed every single one of the 49 moments in Madden 11. 117 moments across 3 games. Literally 30 hours of recording and weeks of editing is officially completed. Literally an official Guinness World Record, because I am the only idiot in the world dumb enough to attempt this and complete it and submit it to Guinness to be officially recognized. That's it. I'm going to bed. I'm so tired. Oh, please subscribe and like and comment all the things. I'll see you guys soon. Be good people.